morning, everybody. How you doing? Isn't that a positive affirmation? I have sunshine in my life today. That's how we get our reputation when we stand in the midst of a thunderstorm and try to get a suntan. Anyway, welcome everybody here. We have kind of a mixed service today. We have a special guest who I'm sure you're going to enjoy. She comes to us from Nigeria. And also we're going to have an extended meditation. You know, this day and age, every single Sunday we say peaceful mind, peaceful heart, peaceful spirit. But how easy is it to maintain that or to even initiate it in this day and age where it seems like daily there's something that pops up that's unnerving, something that pops up that puts a certain sense of anxiety in us because of worldwide events or citywide events or whatever. So meditation is the cornerstone of the unity movement. That is what Myrtle Fillmore engaged in when she healed herself of a disease that people said was terminal. But there's nothing that you can do in your life to improve your health emotionally or physically other than a regular routine of meditation. The meditation is on a CD. If you'd like to have one for your own, you can get it in the bookstore, and there's absolutely no charge for that. Time was the original subject matter of today, and we all have time. That is the one commodity that is equally shared by everybody. It always kind of amazes me that right now, here in this moment right now, everybody in the world is sharing it. Sharing this moment, not in various degrees. Everybody has this moment equally to themselves, and they get to choose how they're going to spend that moment or how they're going to spend their time. Some of us spend it foolishly, some of us spend it wisely. My cousin Ozzy oftentimes spends his time just acting up. He lives in a small town in Nunda, South Dakota, and to maintain some anonymity, he'll catch a bus and go to Chicago, and he will just have a grand time. And he did this not too long ago, right in Chicago, went way overboard. He frequented a lot of the dives, they used to call them, hooked up with a lot of different women, drank way too much, and he ended up on a bus stop sleeping with $5 in his pocket. So he wakes up the next morning, and the bus comes, he gets on it, not knowing where he's going, he just needs to get out of the neighborhood, and he stumbles down the aisle, and there's only one seat open on the bus, and it's right next to a Catholic priest. So he stumbles down the aisle, he falls into the seat. The Catholic priest makes some sort of an indignant sound because Ozzy smells the booze, he smells the smoke, he's got lipstick all over his collar and all over his cheeks, and he is just an absolute mess. Ozzy doesn't pay any attention to him. He picks up a newspaper that was left between the division of the seat, and he starts reading it. And after a while, he turns to the priest and says, "What causes indigestion? What causes tremors? What causes ulcers? And what causes high blood pressure?" The priest, thinking, this is my time to really impact upon this person, the waywardness of his deeds. So he said, "Well, I'll tell you what it is. It is drinking too much, it is smoking too much, it is carousing around all night with people you don't even know, and is going to every bar in town. That is why those symptoms prevail." And then the priest said, "Would you like to be healed from your ailments?" And Cousin Ozzy said, "Oh, I don't have those ailments. But I was just reading here in the newspaper that the Pope does." Okay, excuse me, Catholics in the crowd. I know that is kind of dangerous territory to tarnish the shine on the Pope. Anyway, right now, I'm going to bring Sandra Campbell forward with a special guest from Nigeria, and this is a new ministerial student that is going to be partaking in the program that Sandra is actually the head of. So if you two will please come forward. I need to get these chairs.
While we're getting set up, you know, when I stand up, my thoughts sit down. Today at 2 o'clock, we have a special treat. Keith Andrews, who sings in our choir, has written a powerful play. So powerful that one of the local theaters, the Broadway, I can't think of the name of it, just off Broadway, is going to feature this play in August 22nd through the 25th. We're taking auditions today at 2 o'clock. And so if you're interested, be here at 2 o'clock to audition. This will blow you away. Keith is up in the balcony. Keith, we want to give you a round of applause. The play is called Woke. Two o'clock, right here. All right, I'm Reverend Sandra Campbell, and in addition to being Associate Minister here at the Temple, I am the Executive Director of Unity Urban Ministerial School, from which I graduated in 2012. Warren Teachout graduated in 2016, and David Adams graduated last Monday. Warren and I have been ordained. David will be ordained after a year of internship. We are so proud of, this school is totally online. It's asynchronous, so all you have to do is be wherever you want to be during that week at any time of day and night to get on your class. And we have some major great instructors and all the basic Unity courses. One of my first teachers when I started in the Unity Seminary back in 1994 is Reverend Laura Bennett. At that time she was Reverend Laura Bennett, whose father was also a minister here at Unity Temple in the 70s. Laura has grown up in Unity. Her grandmother founded the Unity of, I believe, Fairfax, Virginia. And Laura has been the co-facilitator of our Bible class with me for several years, and then she took off for new adventures, and she's the senior minister at Unity of Bon Air in Richmond, Virginia. We've all been here for the Unity Convention this week, so Reverend Laura and her husband Larry are here getting ready to drive back to Virginia. Thank you for being with us this morning. Reverend Laura, since I knew she was coming, I surprised her, and our discussion today in the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class was based on her book, The Language of God, Metagetics and the Bible. She is a Bible scholar, I'm telling you. If you want to know anything about the Bible and how it applies to you, she's the one. So I had a very special guest, in fact, 3 guests this morning in the Bible class. This is Imotimi Cleopas, like Cleopas of Bethune, which is from the Bible. And Imotimi is the newest student. She's the first student, actually, that we have from Africa in the urban school. She just joined us, and we're collecting books for her because it's expensive to send books to Nigeria. So we've been on a mission for the past few days that she's been at convention. She has with her her 2 small children, Helen and Samuel, and who got brave this morning and decided they would go down to the youth ed program. So we're hoping, they've been clinging to Imotimi the whole time they've been here, so we're praying that all is well in the youth ed department today. So Imotimi, can you tell me what led you to Unity?
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Imotimi Nikki Cleopas. Cleopas? Yeah. I was raised in Anglican church. I don't know what you call it here. Anglican, yeah. Then from there I moved to Pentecostal. That is fundamentalist. Yes. Yeah. So there was this disconnect. In my society, everything is blamed on the devil, Satan, and its agents for your sickness, for poverty, for not going to school. No, everything is blamed on the next person. So even the church is encouraged that if you're sick, we need to bound the devil and cast his agents out of your system, of your body to become ill. So there was this disconnect within me. So after some years, when I became an adult, I stopped going to church for over a year. I moved from one place to the other, looking for that connection. Till eventually, in 1995, a senior minister of Unity invited me to a Silent Unity prayer meeting. And that was May. I can't remember the date. So when I stepped inside, From that day till now, I have not stepped backward. I've been there because I found this connection. I started taking responsibilities for my action. I want to be a better person. I have to think right. I have to act right. And then I realized that God was not in the seventh heaven again. And sicknesses, poverty, and disease were not as a result of Satan or its agents in form of birds, name it. Rats, cockroaches are seen as devil's agents, attacking you, bringing disease, condition, that kind of community I came from. So when I came to Unity and I had this message of hope, of liberation, that I am what I am because of my thoughts, because of the way I react to the happenings around me, I decided to take responsibility for my life, for myself. So that is why I'm here. I became a better person, a more loving, tolerant person, trying to see the good in every other person, seeing the good even in the cockroach, in the rats, even seeing the good in so-called devil, if there is any devil out there. So I became a better person and react to what is happening around me in a positive light. I love the story of Joseph and his brothers in the Bible. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. I love that area. So whatever thing that happens to me is not as a result of somebody being responsible. It's not because of my grandmother or my grandfather. We see the elderly as wicked people or agents of the devil, you know, that kind of a thing. But I started to see beauty and goodness in my grandmother, in my grandfather, in my mother, in my father, seeing good in everything. So I decided last year, I came for the convention and I met you, and I heard about the Unity Urban Ministerial School, and I was like, I work in the government, I don't have the time to go to regular ministerial school, so maybe this is an opportunity for me to do it online at my own pace and my own time. So this year, around last month, I decided to join the classes, and I'm through with the first course, FU 1000, and I made a A. I've been graded. I scored A.
It's pretty good. Yay.
So that's my story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emotini, I believe that your story is the story of everybody in this sanctuary today, that someone was searching for a connection with God. I think I speak for everybody, that we came to Unity seeking that connection. And there's a saying I learned in Unity when I was brand new in it. I was 21 years old when I was introduced to Unity. And it's that whatever you're seeking is seeking you.
Yeah.
Whatever you're seeking is seeking you. Reverend Laura gave us a good lesson this morning about that. How do we interpret the textbook? That's what we call it in Unity. One of many textbooks is the Bible, the history of the evolution of our consciousness. And so, do you remember any highlights that you took away from that class this morning?
Yeah, I did. We talked about Daniel. And Daniel is that higher consciousness, that level of purity in man. And he was wise, wisdom, understanding, more than his peers at that time. So he was able to see beyond that slavery, the things that happened around that time. He was able to lift up his consciousness to be able to be above that. And when he was thrown into the lion's den, lions did not touch him. It's not because he was powerful and strong, but because he was centered in that consciousness. He became one with the lions. And when you are one with the next person, it cannot harm you. So I think that was Daniel. So personally, my life, I need to lift up my consciousness to that level, all the happenings around me, even in my own community and my society, not to see them the way they are presenting themselves to me, but to see and behold the beauty and the Christ in each and every one of us, all of them, to be a Daniel even in my community, to impact my community positively with love, peace, and understanding. I want to be that Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to close now and just give you why is Nigeria so important to the unity movement? I believe it probably was in the 20s, I'm not sure the exact year, when Charles Fillmore had a radio broadcast around the world. And Nigeria picked up on it. And ever since then, Nigeria has played a major role in the unity movement. When Imotimi talked about silent unity, she was talking about silent unity Nigeria. They have a huge movement in Nigeria. I don't know how many churches, but lots of them.
There are quite many. I can't remember the number, but I think we are over 100.
Over 100. And still growing strong. So this movement that was started by these two mystics and visionaries, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, co-founders of Unity, has spanned the world for decades, for over 100 years. And we are so grateful that that consciousness expands beyond us, that even as we sit here and meditate and pray, we're touching lives all over the world. And those that are touching our lives from other parts of the world, that's so powerful.
Thank you.
Thank you for your connection, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. I'm blessed.
We bless you on your journey. Let's join together and bless Imotimi and her children as they journey back to Nigeria tomorrow. Let's rub our hands together. Get that energy flow. And put your hands forward and let that energy permeate all the way to Nigeria through Imotimi. And join with me in affirming, Imotimi, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all.